To be proclaimed a Mexican warrior means as much about spirit as it does about skill. Perhaps it can be best described as a combination of heart.
He's here for a fight, and he's bringing it.
And bravado. And now on Mexican Independence Weekend, a date when the biggest names have historically shined, an ascendant star will enter the ring. Seeking to further his unbeaten record and embody that spirit.
Es un gran honor y un logro haber llegado pues a estelarizar esta fecha del 14 de septiembre y estar representando a México.
For Jaime Munguia, opportunity and destiny are about to collide.
El propósito es brindarle al público cada pelea un mejor Jaime Munguia.
It all goes down tonight.
Hello and welcome to this beautiful and hot September day in Southern California. We are live in Carson at the Dignity Health Sports Park for Golden Boy Boxing on Dazn. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Tecate, the official beer of boxing, and by Hennessy. Never stop, never settle. 7 fights tonight on the card, and we'll start the super middleweight division right out of the gates. Undefeated Diego Pacheco and Terry Fernandez. Then it's an 8-rounder in the flyweight division. Another unbeaten prospect out of Mexico, Joselito Velasquez and Francisco Bonilla. Then it's to the lightweights, Alejandro Reyes and Jorge Padron. A battle of 2 more Mexican fighters. And then in the lightweight division, out of Garden City, Kansas, Rafael Gramajo and Daniel Olea. Part of the main card, Romero Duno, a man who could be fighting Ryan Garcia in the future, and it almost happened tonight. More on that in a minute. He'll be facing Ivan Delgado, and then it's Franchon Cruz Dazn defending her WBC super middleweight title against Marcelia Cornejo. And then in our main event, Jaime Munguia, undefeated, 33-0, 26 knockouts, taking on the veteran fighting out of Ghana, 40-3, Patrick Allotey. Now, Munguia has struggled to make weight at 154 pounds. This may, in fact, be the final fight for him at this weight, but he did make weight yesterday, but had to get buck naked in order to do it. Weighing in at 154 on the button compared to Allotey, who's at 153. And with that, we say welcome to the very bright and shiny arena here tonight. He is the Latin Snake, Sergio Mora. My name is Todd Grisham. And hello, and to those of you celebrating Mexican national independence, we say welcome to this broadcast, a very big, important spot for Jaime Munguia. How much pressure is there on him to win tonight in a spot that normally belongs to Canelo Alvarez?
Very important, especially after his last performance. Jaime Munguia he almost suffered a loss with Dennis Hogan. A lot of people, including myself, felt he didn't deserve that decision, but he got the decision. Now he's in there with Patrick Allotey, who's a similar style. He's a smaller fighter. He likes to move around the ring. He likes to utilize the space and can give Munguia problems. Munguia has a new trainer. We're going to see if that's going to come into effect, and he could be the next Mexican to be a star here in this arena.
Well, we're very excited to have Jaime Munguia here tonight. We're equally as disappointed that we will not see Ryan Garcia fighting tonight. He was supposed to square off against Avery Sparrow. Ryan Garcia went to the weigh-in, made weight, and then this happened. Take a look.
Sparrow's not here. Ryan, I think you got something you want to say.
I just want to know where he's at. You know, he talked a lot, and I don't see him here. He told me he makes 126 easily. I don't know where he's at. I just wanted this fight, so somebody call him. Somebody ring him up. Let's fight. Let's get this on.
So, Avery Sparrow didn't make it to the weigh-ins, and for good reason. He was in the custody of U.S. Marshals. He had a warrant out for his arrest, so Avery Sparrow got yanked from the card. There were rumors about who would fill in to fight Ryan Garcia, and depending on if you listen to Garcia in his camp or Golden Boy, his promoter, someone didn't want to fight someone. He didn't take the Duno fight. He didn't fight Peter Petrov. Who should we believe? What's going on, Sergio?
You're telling me that boxing's a controversial business? Who should we believe? I don't know. Believe the promoter, Golden Boy, who said that they offered him Duno, but it wasn't enough enough money, or maybe that the team didn't want to take the fight because they didn't prepare to fight for an aggressive fighter like Duno? They prepared for a boxer like Avery Sparrow? Or do you believe the young Ryan Garcia said, put up anybody? A lot of fans were here to watch me. I sold a lot of tickets. I want to continue performing. Who are you going to believe? I don't know, but it's a shame that it's not happening because a lot of people here are disappointed.
Well, Garcia said he wanted more money. He didn't get it. Bottom line, he's not fighting. We may see him November 2nd on the Canelo Alvarez card. For more on Garcia and him not fighting tonight, we send it to Claudio Trejos.
Thank you, Todd. Hi, Sergio. Well, the one thing I can say was chaotic. During the weigh-in, there was a lot of commotion because we were expecting the performing artist Usher, who was actually accompanying Avery Sparrow. There were all kinds of security, all kinds of teams that were taking care of that, and all of a sudden, Ryan comes down, he makes weight, and we're waiting, and we're waiting. Avery Sparrow never showed up. All kinds of rumors were going around, and finally somebody came up and said, well, apparently he was taken, he's arrested, there was a warrant for his arrest for old charges, but we don't have any of the details. All we know is that Ryan Garcia was hoping to make a great show tonight, have a great outing, take a win, and look for an opportunity to shout out for Devin Haney, because that's the guy that he wants to face very soon. So he missed out on that opportunity, but like you guys just mentioned, perhaps he'll be back November 2nd. To you.
Thank you, Claudia. Now, I complained about the bright sun and how hot it is. I'm sure those of you watching at home don't care about the trials and tribulations that we are dealing with. However, you should care that they're delaying the start of the fights tonight because, as you can see behind me here, they're trying to cool down the canvas. It got so hot it started to bubble from underneath. Uneven surface, Sergio, so they say they can't fight right now.
Quite a scientific explanation there by you, Todd Grisham, but I'm getting heat bubbles inside this monkey suit, I'll tell you that. It is hot, but this is boxing. I mean, look, Ryan Garcia debacle with what happened with that. Now we have this. You never know in boxing. It's a crazy business.
Well, when they say, do you want to fight outside, it's usually a cool experiment or experience. Have you fought outside? What were your issues with it?
I fought in this very arena. When it was called the StubHub Center or Home Depot, one of those.
Yeah.
Everything's a version of something else nowadays. But yeah, I fought here. It's quite unique because once the sun goes down, of course, it gets cool, but then you can hear everybody. The crescendo doesn't really stick around. So I didn't really like fighting outdoors, and especially in this heat.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But we will fight tonight. They're just trying to cool things down. And as soon as we get ready to start, we'll bring it to you live. But for right now, let's talk about our next card after this one. It's the return of Triple G. He's fighting Sergey Derevyanchenko. A lot of people, of course, will think, it's just another win for Gennady Golovkin. But you say not so fast. Why is that?
No way. I mean, look, Derevyanchenko went the distance with a very big middleweight in Daniel Jacobs. I mean, he was in that fight. It was a split decision, and I know Daniel Jacobs pretty well. I know how big, how strong, how powerful he is. But for Derevyanchenko to go the distance, 12 rounds with a big man like that, Golovkin isn't as big as Daniel Jacobs. He might be more powerful, but not as big. He's not going to have to deal with that. He has that experience now, and going into this big middleweight fight, I mean, experience is everything.
Well, let's show you some highlights of Triple G's last win over Steve Rolls. Oh, excuse me, no, this is going to be some Derevyanchenko highlights. How would you describe his fighting style as we see him fight Daniel Jacobs here?
Well, Derevyanchenko is he's a short fighter. He's a very strong fighter. Yeah, he comes forward, but he has defensive abilities. He moves his head well. He has an amateur pedigree. He's a very strong fighter, deceptively strong, and it's all experience. And after going the distance with a two-time middleweight champion like Jacobs, he's going to bring that experience and that amateur pedigree into the Golovkin fight.
One of the reasons Canelo Alvarez his camp has said that he doesn't want to fight Triple G a third time, at least not right now, is because he's not a champion. It said he's not bringing anything to the table. Well, if he wins this fight, he will have one belt around his waist, I believe the IBF championship. Will that, in your opinion, sway Canelo to come back to the negotiating table?
Obviously, familiarity is breeding contempt between the two. I mean, they fought in two controversial fights, very competitive fights. I mean, I like the fact that they're fighting a fight or two in between to just get that animosity out the way. But it's time for them to return and get that trilogy going. I mean, there were two great fights. I don't know if Canelo's waiting for Golovkin to get old or pick up another title. Whatever the reason is, we need to see this trilogy.
Well, variety is the spice of life. Maybe Canelo just wants to fight other guys. That fight will always be there for him, at least as long as Triple G keeps winning and Canelo keeps winning. It looks like we're starting to win a little bit because they're beginning to clear the ring now, sweeping all the ice off. Normally they do their best to make sure there's no water on the canvas. Now they're soaking it in water, Sergio.
I keep thinking about the heat bubbles. I got heat bubbles behind my shirt right now inside my jacket. But no, that's what they're doing. This is a sport of. What was the line that Larry Merchant said? It was a dramatic sport of you can never expect. Oh, you wouldn't
expect the unexpected.
Something like that. You never know in this sport. It's boxing.
Well, also coming up on Dazn programming today, we had the Logan Paul KSI presser in Los Angeles. They kept it on the rails for the most part. Both of those fighters or actors or whatever you want to call them are expected to be in the arena later tonight. We hope to hear from both of them. But what's your take on Dazn airing this fight? There are those that say this should never be put on a pedestal. It's not boxing. They're invading our space.
Nowadays, it doesn't really matter what your resume is. It's how many viewers do you have. And I'm not even talking about social media. I'm talking about popularity. I mean, that's going on in everything, in all facets of life, even politics. How popular are you and how many people can you gather around? No matter what comes out of your mouth, if it's interesting, people are going to pay to see. And in this business, in the boxing business, how many butts are you going to put in these seats? If these two fighters, actors, social media stars, whatever you want to call them, they could put these people in these seats, it's all that matters.
And here's some footage from earlier today as they went forehead to forehead. Not only that, Sergio, but when you've got butts in the seats, guess what? They're watching the other fights on the card. There's rumors that we could have Devin Haney on that card. So how is it a bad thing that 20,000 people are watching Devin Haney live instead of 7?
Nothing bad about that, especially if they're fighting at the Staples Center. I mean, it's a legendary arena. I fought there twice. I know what 20,000 people feels like. Devin Haney hasn't experienced that. I mean, we called this fight last night, and it was an exciting fight, and we have highlights here, but it was only 2,000 people that showed up. It was still a great night of boxing. That man is gonna be a superstar, but can you imagine 20,000 people watching him?
You know, I was watching that fight last night with our producer, Dave Harmon, and he said he looks like a young Floyd Mayweather, not just defensively, but when Floyd first started coming out, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, he could go on the attack and put you away, and that's what we've seen from Devin Haney his last couple fights.
No, there's flashes of Floyd Mayweather. There's flashes of a lot of great fighters, even Sugar Ray Leonard. There's something about him. Maybe it's the smile or the young face, the combinations, or how ferocious he is. It's a combination of greatness, and he has that. He exudes greatness. He's being groomed for it, and his father, Bob Haney, I mean, it's just amazing the team they have, the support they have, the backing they have, and he's backing it up.
Yeah, a stoppage last night for Devin Haney. Not only is he calling out other, rising stars like Ryan Garcia, but he wants to tip top. He says he'll fight Lomachenko next. The kid's only 20 years old. Is he trying to become like a Fernando Vargas, where we're just giving him too much too soon?
I was a big fan of Fernando Vargas, and he was too much too soon. Also, maybe David Reed was a little bit too much too soon with Felix Trinidad. I don't think that's the case here. Yeah? Devin Haney has maturity, he has character. There's something about him, like he's older beyond his years. Precocious is a word that Brian Kenny was using. I mean, he turned pro at 17 years old. He doesn't get more precocious and gifted than that. So there's something about him. There's a twinkle in his eye, in his smile. He has that charisma, and he can back it up with those fists.
Another guy who got an impressive win tonight, wasn't the most exciting fight, was Michael Hunter, the heavyweight. He did score a knockdown in that fight. Hello, man. I'm glad you can make it here today. But he gets that win. He wants to fight Povetkin next. If he can beat Povetkin, a man who went over and almost beat Anthony Joshua in England, the future looks very bright for his prospects.
What were you saying? No, Michael Hunter, no, definitely. It was an amazing, I saw Michael Hunter after the fight, and I congratulated him. I told him, I go, listen, man, that was a very impressive performance because you put him down and you didn't go after him. That's the wrong thing to do, especially in that heavyweight division. Kuzmin was looking and waiting for opportunity for Hunter to get reckless. Hunter didn't give him that. The bounty hunter stayed patient, stayed poised, stayed moving around the ring, fighting behind the jab, but then he also had to get his respect, banging to the body, fighting the inside. I mean, it was a really impressive performance by Michael Hunter, and I'm looking forward to seeing what's ahead.
If you're just joining us, the reason we're not showing you boxing and you have to look at me and Sergio profusely sweat on television, it's because the ring itself is sweating. There are heat bubbles under the canvas. They are dumping cold water on top of it, hoping to settle the ring down, that we can get these fights underway. We'll keep you posted. But for right now, we will discuss boxing. It's what we do best. And Sergio, we got Triple G coming up. And then we also have Canelo Alvarez versus Kovalev. It was finally made official this week. Canelo going up to 175 pounds. If you told someone a year and a half ago Canelo was going to go up and fight that monster Kovalev, they'd say he's crazy. But right now, there are some that think Canelo could indeed be the favorite in this fight. Why is that?
Because we've seen what happened with Kovalev when he fought Andre Ward. Maybe Canelo's team, they're seeing that they have kryptonite down here. He couldn't take those body shots anymore. Maybe they're seeing something we're not. All I'm seeing is that Canelo wants to chase greatness. He wants to become a 4-division world champion in another weight division. Crusher is a monster. He's the boogeyman. We all know that one punch could mean lights out. But one thing that Canelo has is his head movement has gotten a lot better. The body shots have gotten more brutal. He was able to knock out a big man in Rocky Fielding.
And he did it to the body as well.
And he did it to the body. That's my point where I'm getting to. So maybe that was a good preparation to fighting a guy like Kovalev. And not for nothing, Kovalev is big, but he's not big. He's as big as Daniel Jacobs. And Daniel Jacobs gave Canelo some fits as well with his size and strength and power and distance. So he's been fighting the right big guys to get him prepared for the Crusher in Kovalev.
So that'll be Crusher Kovalev and Canelo Alvarez, November 2nd, live in Las Vegas. As for what's going on here right now, Claudia Trejos has an update. Claudia, when are we going to see some live fights?
Well, we're going to have to be waiting for a little bit because, like you mentioned, the canvas is bubbling. So the commission is a little bit afraid that that would cause like a waterbed effect. And they want to make sure that it's nice and solid, nice and flat before they actually bring the fighters, because obviously that's going to affect the footwork. That is main concern, is their well-being, and obviously make sure that the fight doesn't get affected due to the bubbling of the canvas.
So that's the very latest on what's happening here today. We will keep you posted. But again, it's Canelo Alvarez and Kovalev, November 2nd in Las Vegas. A lot of people were saying, hey, listen, this could be a cash grab for Kovalev. He's on the decline in his career. He's not the feared monster that he once was. He's taken this fight on back-to-back fights on a pretty quick turnaround. What do you think the state mentally will be for Kovalev when he enters the ring?
And listen, that's the case with every great fighter. I mean, they have that cash grab, whether you want to call it a cash grab or their swan song or their final payday. They deserve it. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. Let's not get nothing twisted. Sergey Kovalev is a Hall of Famer. He proved that already. So, swan song, cash grab, his last fight, maybe his last hurrah, whatever it is, he's going to have to do it against a superstar in Canelo Alvarez.
Who wins that fight, Sergio?
Canelo Alvarez. I mean, he sees something. There's something great, but one punch can knock Canelo out. I mean, we haven't seen Canelo really seriously hurt. I think we're going to see him hurt against Kovalev. I was expecting Daniel Jacobs to hurt Canelo. I was expecting that's the first time we're going to see Canelo, but Canelo fought a very careful fight, a strategic fight. And I think with Kovalev, he's going to have to be forced to get in the inside if he's going to want to land those body shots. And like I said, it only takes one punch from the Crusher.
5 minutes. That's what I'm being told right now. We will start live fights in 5 minutes. They've cooled this down dramatically. They got a fan on it right now. The bubbles have started to subside, so we'll have some live fights in a minute. We'll start out with Diego Pacheco, the undefeated 18-year-old. All right, Sergio, as far as tonight's card, besides Jaime Munguia, who's the one fighter you're most excited to see in the ring tonight?
Diego Pacheco, after that first round knockout, I mean, look, he's 5-0, 4 knockouts. He started off rough, you know, he has a lot of high expectations, but that first round knockout, I mean, you could just, he's a big fighter. He's a 168-pounder. He could come down to middleweight, which is an exciting division, but I think he's coming around. He's maturing. He's really belonging in there, so I'm excited about that young man.
And as you see, the third to last fight tonight, Romero Duno taking on Ivan Delgado. If you're just joining us, Duno allegedly was offered up to Ryan Garcia as a late replacement. Either they didn't want to fight him, depending on who you listen to, or they wasn't offered enough money to fight him. That fight won't happen. What is it about Duno that gave Garcia's camp at least pause?
The fact that he's with Freddie Roach. He's a very determined, strong puncher. The last time they fought a Golden Boy fighter, he knocked out and upset a future blue prospect. So there was something having to do with that. And they didn't prepare for a pressure fighter. They prepared for a boxer in Avery Sparrow. I mean, it's just night and day. That's why they were concerned. The money might have alleviated things, but it only takes one night for you to derail your career.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's worth it for a star like Ryan Garcia. I mean, it hurts to have to go, 8-week, 9-week camp, being prepared, selling a lot of tickets, and then just canceling it. I know it hurts. I've been there. A lot of fighters have been there. but that's what you got to do. This is a pro game.
Well, besides having an actual championship, a major championship around your waist, the most precious thing you can have in boxing is an O at the end of your record. Right now, Garcia has that. He doesn't want to lose it, especially in a fight where he feels like he wasn't prepared for the type of style that would be thrown at him.
No, and it'll be similar to AJ Ruiz. I mean, maybe not last minute like this one is, but a couple of weeks still. You're not focused on that style of fighting. They throw in someone completely new. And can you imagine the day before versus a top contender in Duno? I mean, Duno's the real deal. He's probably going to fight for a world title soon. Ryan Garcia is not quite there yet. I mean, he's a prospect. He's a top contender, but is he ready for a world title? Not yet. Duno is. So it's just a dangerous fight.
All right, we're just a couple minutes away from starting our live fights here in Carson, California. But coming up on the Dazn schedule, look at this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not trying to be a hype man, but have you ever seen a schedule like this on one network in boxing?
No, you got the best of the best. I mean, from Triple G to Canelo, Ruiz, Joshua, Usyk. It doesn't get any better. The pound-for-pound greatness right there, and that's only in the last couple of months.
Big fights, any device, one price. Download the Dazn app today, and here's what we've got, ladies and gentlemen. Patricio Pitbull back in action on Bellator, then Triple G. How about Usyk making his heavyweight debut October 12th? If he wins this fight, he's a mandatory for a world title.
How about Regis Prograis and Josh Taylor? I mean, it's just massive. Everything. It's pound for pound. The best fighters in the world, some of the best fighters, top 10 pound for pound, are on that list right there. It just doesn't get bigger and more exciting than that.
And ladies and gentlemen, we got good news. About to watch people punch each other in the face. It is go time. Let's look at our tail of the tape. Our first fight of the night, 18-year-old Diego Pacheco, unbeaten, taking on Terry Fernandez, a 29-year-old. And as you can see, Pacheco with a massive height and reach advantage.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the ring from Oakland, California, with a perfect record of 3 wins, 0 losses. 3 of those wins coming by way of knockout. Let's hear it for Terrible Terry Fernandez.
Hustle and motivate. Choppers a throwaway. Hustle the overweight. That's why they follow me, huh? They think I know the way. So I took control of things, ballin' the solo way. And if you pattern my trend, I make you my protege. Lost in that soldier race. Niggas don't know them days. Take you in back of the buildings, make you expose your rage. Take you across the tracks, make you explode the face. Now you official now, but you got a soul to save. I just been cooking that new. I'm about to drop in the fuel. Think if I call it the great, the people gon' call it the truth. I ain't really trip on the credit. I just pay all of my dues.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way into the ring from Los Angeles, South Central California. He also has a perfect record. 5 wins, 0 losses. Let's hear it for Diego Pacheco.
Pacheco, 6'4", with a 80-inch reach. Sergio, he has a big super middleweight.
And he's 18 years old. That's the most exciting thing. If he can drop down to middleweight, he can be a force to be reckoned with. I mean, Diego Pacheco is serious, and he's only getting better and better, more comfortable, more mature, fighting behind the jab and knowing how to cut off the ring and bang away at the body. This man has a bright future.
This fight contracted at 168 pounds. He's never fought at this high of a weight. We'll see how that power translates as he moves up.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California. On this Mexican Independence Day weekend, tonight's action is presented by Golden Boy, sponsored by Tecate. Tecate, the official beer of boxing. Hennessy, never stop, never settle. Orange Crush knockout flavor. Pick up a new Crush watermelon at your favorite retailer today. And all of tonight's action is live on Dazn. And now for our first fight. This bout is scheduled for 4 rounds of super middleweight action. Judges scoring the fight: Zachary Young, Carla Caiz, Alejandro Roshan. Referee in charge of the action at the sound of the bell, Eddie Hernandez Sr. And here we go. First, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black, trimmed with silver. Official weight, 165.8 pounds. He enters the ring. A professional record, 3 wins, perfect, 0 losses. 3 of those wins coming by way of California. 3 of those wins come by way of knockout from Oakland, California. Terrible Terry Fernandez. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white, trimmed with gold, weighing in 168 pounds. He too enters the ring with a professional record, 5 wins, 0 losses. 4 of those wins coming by way of knockout in association with Matchroom Boxing from South Central Los Angeles, California, Diego Pacheco. And once again, referee in charge of the action with final instructions, Eddie Hernandez Sr.
All right, gentlemen, before we go, your trunks are a little high, so we're gonna go here and up, okay? Yours are high too, here and up, all right? Get yourself. We've been over the rules with you both. You're professionals. I expect you to conduct yourself as such. Touch gloves, good luck.
So it's finally fight time. Almost 30 minutes after we were supposed to get started because of the heat that caused bubbling under the canvas. My mom just texted me, Sergio, after all that FaceTime and said, hey, you and your twin, Sergio, look just alike.
Ready?
I've never cussed at my mother, but I almost did this.
I've heard that several times before, believe it or not.
So here we go. Big Diego Pacheco looking to remain undefeated. There's a quick slip.
No.
I wonder why, Sergio. Maybe it's because we just dumped about 40 gallons of water on the canvas.
That's going to be a big problem, especially with the logos right there. Once the logos get wet, they become even more slippery.
Let's see here as Pacheco. He's one of those guys that just looks like he's taking things very nonchalant, but he'll explode with a hard right hand.
Let him go.
Normally Pacheco's the one coming forward, initiating the punishment, but we can see that Fernandez, not for nothing, Fernandez never lost. He's 3-0, 3 knockouts, so he has power as well.
Nice right hand for Pacheco. So good at picking his spots. He's measuring things out right now with the jab.
If you're 6'4", you better utilize that jab.
Fernandez is in no man's land right now, Sergio. He's not inside and he's not far enough outside.
Let him go. Work out of it, guys. Work out of it. Work out of it. Hands are free.
At 5'8", I mean, that's, he
needs
to get out inside, because outside he stands no chance.
Stop.
Fernandez is 3-0, but all 3 of his wins have come over winless opponents in Mexico. Nice jab again, and it's just a field day so far for Pacheco. Everything is landing.
Another thing, if you're a boxer right now, the sun is probably in your eyes if you're facing towards that way, so you want to be looking at the opposite direction.
Good left hook that time for Pacheco. Can Fernandez make it out of the first round?
Fernandez is feeling the heat, literally and figuratively.
Let him go, hands are free, guys. Let his arm go. Let him go.
Would you rather fight in an arena that's a little too cold or a little too hot?
Cold, definitely cold. I fought in an arena that was very cold in Tucson, Arizona. And we came out in covers, and once we're in there, we start sweating, the adrenaline kicks in, you forget about how cold it is. You don't forget about heat.
I think you're the, whoa, nice right hand, and again for Pacheco. He's got that smile on his face, Sergio. I think he knows something's coming big.
Fernandez took a big shot at the end of the shot as well. Pacheco extended the entire right hand. Fernandez took it very well.
Stop. Don't hit in the back, okay? Quit holding. Go.
10 seconds to go, round 1. Fernandez got a right hand in there.
And a left hook.
Yeah, get your shots in. Why not? So Pacheco will see the second round for only the second time in his young career.
¿Te echa atrás o no? Ok, ahorita me lo saca ya que le caiga, ¿ok?
Give me water, give me water.
El bucket, el bucket.
Give me the bucket.
And here's the slipper we're talking about. When the logos get wet, Todd, it can also be dangerous. I've seen a lot of fighters twist their ankles that way. And right now, the canvas is very wet.
Pacheco started boxing at age 9, was an 8-time national junior champion.
Back up. Mouthpiece.
Had dual memberships on both the U.S. and Mexican teams, so he's fought in both countries.
Fernandez landed some really good shots at the end of that round. Might have stunned Pacheco. I seen Pacheco walking back a little slowly. He put his hands against the ropes and sat down very slow.
I told you about hitting in the back. Don't do that no more, okay? All right? Go, box. Stop, let go, sit back, box.
Pacheco, I think, knew that Fernandez was going to be a little bit tougher. He told us that I'm going to try and grind him down, maybe finish him in round 3 or 4.
But this is exactly what you need as a fighter, as an up-and-coming fighter.
Oh, nice 1-2.
This helps your development immensely when you're fighting very tough, strong, short, stocky fighters like this, dirty fighters like this. In the end, it's going to make you a better boxer overall.
Now, what have you seen that makes you say he's dirty?
Well, I'm not necessarily saying that Fernandez is dirty. I'm just saying sometimes it's good to fight, cagey, dirty fighters, a little bit of everything. Fernandez has been tough right now. He's been throwing haymakers, taking shots, landing big shots.
Don't know how much more he can take, though, Sergio. He's flinching with every landed blow from Pacheco.
Well, the good news is it's a 4-round fight, so I'm sure he's in shape for 4 rounds. And he can take punishment for 4 rounds.
That measuring jab.
Another thing, Fernandez took this fight before his last fight, before his most recent fight, so he never got out of shape. He was in good shape leading into this fight, confident. He already felt getting hit. That's very important.
Pacheco coming off a first-round demolition job over Jose Esparza back in Hermosillo, Mexico. 1-2, and then the left hand to the body for Pacheco.
I think Fernandez is finally breaking down a little bit. It was at the end of a 1-2 that Pacheco landed.
Gotta show me something.
I want to see more jabs and 1-2s from Pacheco.
Step back. Let him go.
The longer the punches, the more they take to travel to land with harder intensity.
Let him go.
30 seconds left here in the second round. Scheduled for 4. This is our opener in Carson, California. Oh, nice right hand. Fernandez in trouble. Can he survive the round? There's the clapper.
They're going to stop this. One more shot.
Fernandez lives to see another round.
You guys' best punches. You're gonna worry right now. All I need you to do right now, you're gonna crack your second wing. You know what I mean? I need you to keep doing the stuff you're doing, but you need 5s, you need 4s, and you need to look away and put your punches and uppercut.
And here you see Pacheco, what he should be doing, fighting at a distance, unleashing the long arms, catching the shorter man at the end of his punches, and that's exactly where the power is going to translate, at the end of the punch, not smothering your shots. It's going to be a long 3 minutes for Terry Fernandez right now.
This is the first time Fernandez has ever fought in a third round. Will he see the fourth?
I say it's going to be very difficult. It's going to be a long 3 minutes. He was really hurt in that third round. We're going to find out. 3 minutes is a long time, especially when you're getting hit from every angle by a bigger man like Pacheco.
Well, considering some of the recent tragedies in boxing, I think referees as a whole are a lot more conservative about when they stop fights. And Fernandez looks like he really doesn't have much of a chance at inning to win this fight as he just ate the biggest punch of the fight from Pacheco.
Eddie Hernandez, the referee, looking very closely. It's not going to take too many shots for him to stop it.
And that is it. Diego Pacheco, knockout number 5, and he made it look easy.
3 minutes is a lifetime when you're hurt in that ring.
It was never in doubt from the opening bell. Pacheco with another stepping stone win. It took him 2.5 rounds to do it, Sergio.
I'm telling you, 3 minutes when you're hurt, getting beaten and battered by a stronger, bigger man, it could seem like eternity. Credit to Fernandez for taking a lot of punishment. He's a tough fighter. He kept throwing haymakers. He was looking for the shot, looking for the upset. But ultimately, he's in there with a bigger, stronger, undefeated prospect than Diego Pacheco.
Well, Pacheco told us that he's more comfortable now. He was really nervous his first couple fights. Says, my composure's improved. I'm much more relaxed. Did you see that here this afternoon?
I saw that, but he lacked the jab. I would love to have seen him work behind the jab a little bit more, especially with that height and reach advantage. He let Fernandez get a little bit too close for my liking.
And here was that big right hand that got the referee on his toes, thinking about stopping this.
And he didn't smother himself with that right hand either.
And then here's the stoppage, Sergio.
Short right hand, like I said, he was getting hit with every punch from every angle, uppercuts, left hooks. Referee Eddie Hernandez was on watch, and he stopped that fight. I think it was a right stoppage.
Keep in mind, he's only 18 years old. So when you say, who should he be fighting next, or who do you want to see him against next, you just want to see him busy, don't you?
And that's what he's going to stay busy. He only fought a couple of months ago. He got a first-round knockout. He got a fourth-round knockout this time around. We might see him once or twice before this year is over as well.
Yeah, Golden Boy has so many young guns. I mean, they got Jaime Munguia, Ryan Garcia, Diego Pacheco. At what point do you say, hey, we're feeding you to the wolves, sink or swim?
I don't think they're going to feed this man to the wolves. He has a bright future and high expectations for Pacheco.
I think Pacheco would say, I am the wolf. Let's go to Mark Christie now, who makes it official.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Eddie Hernandez, Sr., stops the fight at 41 seconds of the third round. And your winner by knockout, Diego Pacheco.
Congratulations to Diego Pacheco, 6-0 with 5 knockouts.
Tommy.
One last look at how this went down as Pacheco entered round 3 for only the second time in his career.
I love that. He's a taller fighter with a longer reach, and he was still not neglecting the body, still digging away downstairs, looking for the shots upstairs. Fernandez wasn't going anywhere, punching in between the shots and the long arms of Pacheco, which is the right thing to do with a taller fighter. But when the combinations are coming from every angle and speed and power, it's just very difficult. And he was in there with just a tougher fighter and prospect, blue chip prospect in Pacheco.
And now to another young gun from the Golden Boy stable. He's fighting next. 25-year-old Joselito Velasquez caught up with Claudia Trejos.
Josecito, thank you for joining us. You're going to be fighting on Mexican Independence Day, and you have none other than Freddie Roach in your corner. And obviously, this is a very important date for all the Mexicans and Mexican boxing. How important is it for you to show a dominant force today?
Es muy importante para mí, tanto como felicidad, tanto como una responsabilidad para mí mostrarme bien ante toda mi gente. Viene mucha gente de México a apoyarme, la gente de aquí de Los Ángeles que también espera cosas importantes. Entonces estoy concentrado y también emocionado porque obviamente como boxeador y como aficionado disfruto mucho de esta fecha y qué mejor estar peleando aquí.
It's very important to me in terms of my happiness and my responsibility because I have to go out and give a great performance to everyone who supports me, my family, everyone. But I'm very happy and I'm motivated because I am going to be doing all this in front of my fans and support.
Let's talk about your English. Freddie says that it's getting better, and you've mentioned that it's hard to communicate with him. How is it going?
Bien, pues siempre he dicho, el idioma del boxeo lo entiendo perfectamente. Él también sabe que las indicaciones debe de decirme las claras y directas y nos entendemos bastante bien en eso. Cuando me empieza a contar historias de Manny o de otros boxeadores, él sabe que no entiendo, pero la intención cuenta.
I speak the language of boxing, so in that respect, it's fine. But and I've told them that please, explain things clearly and directly, so I understand that. But it becomes difficult when he starts talking about stories and other boxers. That's when I have difficulty understanding him.
Well, thank you very much, and good luck tonight.
Thank you so much.
And yes, you can hear the music in the background. We hope you're enjoying this Mexican Independence Day weekend. We're at the Dignity Health Sports Arena as we get ready for fight number 2 of 7 scheduled tonight here from Golden Boy on Dazn. And up next, it's Joselito Velasquez fighting out of Mexico, squaring off against Francisco Bonilla. And here is our tale of the tape. Velasquez coming off a split decision win over former world title challenger Martin Tequapetla. He's 25 years old, 5'4". He'll have a 2-inch reach advantage over the fellow Mexican Bonilla, who fights out of Chihuahua.
Gentlemen, 8 rounds of boxing coming up right now in the flyweight division. And making his way to the ring first from Chihuahua, Mexico, Francisco Bonilla.
So the live mariachi band, they told them to stop so they could play mariachi music from the DJ, Sergio. That is blasphemy on this particular weekend.
Yes, it is.
Bonilla promises to, quote, fight with power tonight and go toe-to-toe with Velasquez. We'll see if he can do that.
And his opponent ready to make his way to the ring, hailing from Cancun, Quintana Roo, Mexico, the undefeated Joselito Velasquez.
I have a feeling we're going to hear this type of music a lot tonight, Sergio.
You don't say. It's Mexican Independence Weekend, Todd. We're going to hear banda. We're going to hear a little bit of everything.
Did you ever come to the ring to this type of Mexican nationalistic music?
A couple of times, yeah. To Vicente Fernandez, who's singing now. Very popular with the Mexican fans, especially on Fight Night.
You seem like more of a Ricky Martin guy to me than Vicente Fernandez.
That's why I like working with next to you.
And there is Velasquez. Good-looking kid, two-time Pan American Games gold medalist, also represented Mexico in the 2016 Olympic Games.
Velasquez, Todd.
Velasquez. Here is Joe Martinez.
And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, live on Dazn from Dignity Health Sports Park, Carson, California. 8 rounds of boxing this scheduled in the flyweight division. Your 3 judges scoring this bout at ringside: Rudy Barragan, Carla Caiz, and Fernando Villarreal. And when the action begins inside the ring, your referee in charge, Sharon Sands. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing the colors of Mexico, white, green, and red. He weighed in officially 112 1/4 pounds, and in 15 professional bouts holds a professional record of 6 victories, 6 defeats, 3 bouts even, with 3 wins coming by way of knockout. Presentando de Chihuahua, Mexico, Francisco Bonilla. And across the ring stands his opponent, fighting out of the red corner. Wearing red trunks trimmed in silver, he weighed in 113 pounds. Fighting out of Espinosa Boxing Club, this young professional is perfect in the ring. 10 fights, 10 victories, and no defeats. 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Desde Cancún, Quintana Roo, Mexico, el invicto, Joselito Velasquez.
Velasquez from Cancun, Mexico. Known obviously as a resort town, but that's where he honed his craft. He said his brother Anibal was also a talented amateur boxer, and he inspired him to do the same. Originally wanted to be a soccer player. Here we go. Velasquez in the red trunks, Bonilla in the white. Scheduled for 8 rounds here in Southern California. How would you describe Velasquez's fighting style, Sergio?
He has a lot of speed. He has a lot of discipline, power in both hands. High expectations from Velasquez. Not only was he an Olympian, a Mexican Olympian, he was a 2-time Pan American champion. And now he's with one of the greatest trainers out there in Freddie Roach. They fight together. Freddie says he's very disciplined, he learns very fast, and can punch hard with both hands.
Well, Freddie calls him a blue chip prospect, which means a lot coming from somebody like Freddie Roach.
Freddie doesn't work with anybody that doesn't work hard. And if Velasquez is not up for that challenge, you know you're going to get some tough sparring at the wild card, but you got to work hard, put in that work. He can't make you that great fighter unless you do your part.
Well, he did work with Chavez Jr., did he not?
Not long. It wasn't that long. It was because of that reason.
He made Freddie see the light. One time, Mike Ditka, the famous Chicago Bears football coach, was asked, how do you motivate your players? And he goes, I don't motivate my players. I get rid of players that can't motivate themselves.
It's great advice. I mean, boxing's such a selfish sport. Yes, you have a team in your corner, you have a trainer, you have, of course, family and friends. But you're in there by yourself. I mean, it's a lonely sport. So when you have a bad day at the gym, you got to go and reflect and think about it. When you have a good day at the gym, everyone wants to be around you.
Boy, really fast hands on display here for Velasquez.
Powerful shots, and they're coming around the guard. They're not landing around the guard just yet because it's early in this first round, but those are some hard shots being landed by Velasquez.
Boy, and he's so fast, and Bonilla just isn't firing back.
He can't fire back. I mean, he's out too much speed right there, too much speed and power. If he opens up his guard, he might get caught with one of those heavy shots.
Bonilla is fighting outside of his native Mexico for the first time in his career. His first 15 fights all in Mexico, and there was a right hand that connected for Bonilla.
That's right, because he stepped back with his hands down, thinking that Bonilla wasn't going to punch. And back to Freddie Roach, he doesn't really work with just anybody. I mean, you can't go from Manny Pacquiao to 4-round fighters unless he sees that you're a top prospect and you have a bright future. And they see a bright future with this young man in Joselito Velasquez.
Beautiful round, all right? Beautiful, okay? I like the feints, the hook, very good. Combinations, very body shots. Working up and down very well, okay? Nice combination, very quick, okay? Please, keep that.
Here we're gonna see Velasquez coming around the guard. When a fighter is fresh, he's gonna be strong enough to block the punches with the gloves. So go around the gloves with a left, right hook, and he came inside through the guard with a left uppercut.
Well, Freddie Roach compared Velasquez's explosiveness to Manny Pacquiao. So high praise from Freddie Roach, and he loved that first round, according to what we heard him say in the corner. Velasquez does not speak English. He understands it pretty well, speaks a little bit, but Freddie said, look, he knows all the boxing terms. We're fine. We know how to communicate in the gym.
That's usually the case. I mean, you can communicate through boxing with the punches with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, there's only a certain amount of punches you could throw. A jab is a 1, right hand is a 2, left hook is a 3, and so on.
What's a 12?
Doesn't exist. I think there's only 6 punches you can throw, and you got to mix them up.
You just throw the 6 twice, Sergio.
Good shot there, it landed.
Yeah, left hook there from
Bonilla. He landed a nice left uppercut.
There's another slip, that time by Velasquez.
It can be very dangerous. I said earlier about fighters hurting their ankles.
Oh, talk about hurting a fighter. That left hook just floored Bonilla.
5, 6, 7, 8. You okay?
Bonilla says he's okay to continue. He's been stopped 3 times in his career. Are we about to see number 4? Here comes Velasquez again. Trying to set up that left hook. Oh, there it is, right on the ear. And now a right. Bonilla is in big trouble here. He's got to fight back.
And he is fighting back. He's doing the right thing. He's throwing the right punches at the right time. And he held on right there. Good for Bonilla.
The left hook, a real game changer for Velasquez.
I love the fact that Velasquez is not smothering his punches. He maintains the distance, the control. He's controlling his opponent at the end of the shots, hooking around the guard, not forgetting about the body. If he could double up that body shot he just threw right now, that would be it. You can see Bonilla holding on after that body shot.
There we go. Come on, Francisco.
10 seconds to go. Can Bonilla make it to the 3rd round? Great stuff here in the second, though, for Velasquez.
pegadita. No te quedes mucho en el mismo lugar. ¿En qué quedamos? Tienes que salir luego, pégate bien la mano. ¿Sí puedo? Okay. How we doing here, coach? Está bien.
Here we're going to see Velasquez and Bonilla exchange hooks. And like the old adage in boxing goes, you don't exchange hooks with a hooker, and Velasquez with a shorter, more concise punch landed there before Bonilla's, and that's why Bonilla went down. Credit to Bonilla though, he got up, he kept fighting, continuing to fight.
So here we go, round 3. Velasquez put Bonilla on his backside there in the second. There are many that believe Velasquez is talented enough to be fast-tracked towards a world title, perhaps WBC flyweight champion Charlie Edwards. I'm sure he's watching this right now with interest. Velasquez, such a decorated amateur. 160 wins, only 20 losses.
No knockdown!
And that will be ruled a slip.
It's a slip!
Again, this canvas was doused with cold water earlier to try and cool it off to prevent the heat bubbles that were percolating up from above. Nice body work for Velasquez.
Still trying to come around the guard of Bonilla right there.
Stop.
What's your favorite way to set up a left hook?
Doubling it up. If a fighter's already getting accustomed to your speed and your power and your distance, double it up or triple it up. Good left uppercut right there. Get an angle on the left hook too, because when a fighter, if you're in front of a fighter, he's blocking, he knows that the power's gonna come from one side. Get on an angle. Double and triple it up. See right there, he threw a hard left hook. Bonilla blocked it, he should have doubled it up right there.
You know, Bonilla's bounced back pretty well after that knockdown. Now he's the one trying to take the fight to Velasquez.
I was about to point that out, Todd. He's the one coming forward now. And he's still punching. He's doing the smart thing. He knows that he's not as explosive as Velasquez, so he's punching at the end of those shots and in between the speed of Velasquez.
Right hand snuck through the guard there for Joselito.
There's another slip.
Seems like anytime someone plants their foot on the logo, that's when they slip.
I heard back in the day, if you put soda and Coca-Cola down on that logo, it'll actually won't be as slippery. It'll get a little stickier.
I'm sure it'd do the same thing if you put syrup on it, as I've learned from my daughters every morning when they eat their Eggo waffles.
Let's stick with Coca-Cola.
Good body shot with that left hand. Velasquez, a nice variety upstairs and down.
But he didn't double it, so Bonilla already knows how to take that first one. It's that second and third one that he's not accustomed to feeling.
Juan Archuleta is the future of MMA.
Let's go!
Man, that was quick. Leota, the Dragon, the Cheetah.
What a night that's going to be live September 28th. It's a Dazn exclusive Pitbull and Archuleta. round 4, scheduled for 8 here in Carson, California. Joselito Velasquez, the unbeaten 25-year-old, put Francisco Bonilla down in the second round, but since then, Bonilla putting up a pretty decent fight.
He's scrappy, he's tough. He's already taken some of the best shots of Velasquez, and he keeps coming.
Well, Bonilla promised to go toe-to-toe with Velasquez. Has he lived up to that promise in your estimation?
Absolutely, and he fulfilled it. And look at what he did right now. He got hit with 3 punches. He blocked them, but he came out with an overhand right of himself. So he's still looking to hurt Velasquez in between his combinations.
Well, he knows that Velasquez is coming off a split decision win, so maybe Bonilla says, if I can get him to the later rounds, maybe I can wear him down a little bit, especially in this California heat.
Yeah, and that wasn't too long ago. It was in June against Martin de la Puebla. So anytime a fighter, especially that blue chip prospect, is in there tough with somebody that you feel you're just as good of, you're going to come in with confidence.
It's still 91 degrees outside in this outdoor venue. Velasquez told us in the fighter meetings his last fight he learned he doesn't have to exchange all the time if he's not comfortable with it.
Well, he must be comfortable right now because they're fighting in a phone booth. This is good old Mexican style fashion of fighting. Love that right there by Velasquez. He blocked the looping shot of Bonilla. He came back right away with that left hook with speed and power, technique as well.
And he's throwing 3 and 4 punch combinations as well.
But he's not doubling them up. That's the only criticism I would have. He's using left, right, and Bonilla already caught on to that. Double up on one side. Break the monotony of it.
Bonilla still trying to apply pressure.
And cutting off the ring. Bonilla better be careful with that slow jab right there. He got timed by a Velasquez right hand. It's not going to take too many of those to get hurt again.
You don't see a lot of pity-patty shots from Velasquez. Every punch he throws seems to be thrown with a lot of power behind it.
Velasquez is an explosive combination puncher. But credit to Bonilla, he's looking for the right shot, just like he did right there.
Oh, and a right hand this time. Since Bonilla down, they will wave it off, and that's it. Joselito Velasquez, 11-0, knockout number 9.
Fans loved that performance all around. That was a solid performance versus a gritty fighter and Bonilla that wasn't going anywhere.
Freddie Roach told us to watch Velasquez's explosiveness. Sergio, I think we saw it.
We saw a little bit of everything in that performance. It was short, it was sweet, it ended violent. The crowd loved it.
Did you love it?
Absolutely.
Did you ever get a chance to fight on this particular weekend, Mexican Independence Day?
Yes, I did.
Did it mean more to you to win?
No, because I lost my title versus Vernon Forrest.
Sorry for bringing that one up. Should have had that at the pre-fight meeting. Either way, Velasquez wins, and the man who's from Cancun, Mexico has got to feel good about that, especially the way he ended this emphatically here in round 4.
Nice uppercut right there. Coming around with the guard. Right hook, that's what did it right there. He got a little angle. That's what I wanted earlier to see from Velasquez. Get an angle, and he did it just right there. I thought referee Sharon Sands maybe stopped it a little bit too soon, but Francisco Bonilla wasn't complaining, so maybe it was the right decision.
Well, he complained a little bit, Sergio, but I think he knew he was outclassed, and it was probably just a matter of time.
He didn't get up, and the body language told me that he didn't want no more, so I think it was the right decision by the referee.
So Velasquez vanquishes another opponent. Onward and upward for him. And with that, we send it back into the ring and Mr. Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 2 minutes 54 seconds, round number 4. Referee Sharon Stans puts a halt to the bout for your winner by KO and still undefeated, Joselito Velasquez.
Now we're going to see highlights of Velasquez's performance here. Francisco Bonilla came to fight. He showed grit. He was cagey, trying to win, but ultimately Velasquez right there punching from everywhere, dropping Bonilla. Bonilla getting up. Velasquez was way too much for him, and right there he did not get up, and the referee had to stop that fight. And now we throw it to Todd Grisham with the winner.
We are here with Joselito Velasquez. Congratulations on your victory. What does it mean for you to win by knockout here on Mexican Independence Day weekend?
Me siento muy contento, agradecido con Dios, con Golden Boy, Sanfer, Frankie Espinosa, todo mi equipo que me ha hecho llegar a donde estoy. Me siento muy bendecido de estar un 14 de septiembre aquí ante tantos mexicanos y gritar que viva México.
Oh, he's just saying he's glad to be here, and he's happy to be here in front of all the Mexicans in the crowd, and the fans came to see him.
You didn't know you had to translate the English and the Spanish. Your last fight was a very close contest, a split decision, a tough win for you. What does it feel like now to come back and win emphatically with a knockout like this?
La pelea pasada sabíamos que era un rival complicado, que ya había ido por una oportunidad de título mundial. Tomamos la responsabilidad, con la misma responsabilidad que tomamos este rival. Ahora salió por knockout y qué bueno darle este espectáculo a la gente hoy en 14 de septiembre.
The last fighter we fought was a complicated fighter who had fought for a title and who had a little more experience. This time he was ready for the opponent that they put in front of him, a little more ready than that.
And Freddie Roach, real quickly, I know you have a lot of hope and promise about this kid. What is it that makes you think he can become a future world champion?
He definitely has the tools. He's a good puncher. I mean, our last fight, we misjudged the altitude of it a little bit, so we were off a little bit. And he didn't look so great there, but he looked great tonight, and he's going to be right there. We want a world title fight really quick. I told Frankie Espinosa, let's get one tomorrow.
All right, maybe they can get it tomorrow. Who knows? Congratulations on your win. One more time, everybody. Joselito Velasquez. And now for more on our next fighter, we go backstage. Claudia Trejos with Alejandro Reyes.
We're here with Alejandro Reyes. Alejandro, there's some outrageous nicknames out there. Yours, I would not include in that list. Pin Pon, P-I-N-P-O-N. How does that come about?
It started when I was little. There's a little nursery rhyme that a song that I wouldn't go to sleep if they didn't play the song. So, I mean, it stuck with my family, and then throughout there, everybody just called me Ping Pong.
A nursery rhyme. But tonight is not a nursery rhyme. Tonight is Mexican Independence Day, and this is your pro debut in a very important arena where great battles have been disputed. How does that feel?
It puts some pressure on me, but I know there's nothing to be worried about. I'm prepared. I'm ready to give the fans a great show. Everybody here. Muchas gracias a todos por venir, and I'm ready.
Alrighty then. Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will see him in action momentarily, but ladies and gentlemen, it is fight season on Dazn, the only place to watch. Canelo, Triple G, and Joshua Ruiz. Big fights, any device, one price. Download the Dazn app today if you haven't already. But look at the lineup, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, I don't want to brag, Sergio. Maybe you can do it this time so I don't sound like the hype man. How good is this lineup?
Gennady Golovkin, pound for pound. Alexander Usyk, pound for pound. Regis Prograis, up and comer, a modern-day Durant type fighter. Canelo Alvarez, pound for pound. I mean, Andy Ruiz Jr., Anthony Joshua, some of the best fighters in the world. Is that good enough for you?
It's good, and it's all in one place right here on Dazn. Now it's time for our tale of the tape. From Dignity Health Sports Park in Carson, California, it's the final fight On our prelim card, before the main card starts at the top of the hour, Alejandro Reyes, just 20 years old, ladies and gentlemen, 5'11", 72-inch reach. That's almost 8 inches longer than Jorge Padron.
Our next bout tonight, 4 rounds, this in the lightweight division. And making his way to the ring first from Monterrey, Mexico, Jorge Padron.
Jorge Padron lost his last fight. He's 3-4 overall with 3 knockouts, but this is the type of fighter you want to give a guy, a young guy in his pro debut that you have bright prospects for, is it not?
Absolutely. It's a 4-round fight. You know that it's going to go by really fast. But when you're dealing with a fighter like Alejandro Reyes, he fought in some big national tournaments, Junior Olympics, and the pals. He knows how to mix it up. He's a good opponent for a fighter that's been stopped twice in Padron.
And his opponent ready to make his ring walk, fighting out of the red corner from Mexicali, Mexico, Alejandro Reyes.
A lot of buzz already surrounding Reyes in his pro debut, and he's got the cowboy hat on, the caballero hat. Is that right? Caballero?
No, that means gentleman, but close enough.
Well, I've never called you that. What's the word for cowboy in Spanish?
Vaquero.
Vaquero. His nickname, though, is Ping Pong, from the Mexican nursery rhyme, as Claudio Trejos told us just moments ago. Had 83 amateur bouts, fought in the Junior Olympics. The future is bright.
Very bright.
Alejandro Reyes, but first things first, you gotta win your pro debut, Sergio, and you know how hard that can be. Here's Joe Martinez.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 rounds in the lightweight division. Your 3 judges scoring at ringside, Chris Flores, Dr. Lou Moret, and Fernando Villarreal. And when the action begins inside the ring, referee in charge, Ivan Guillermo. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing black trunks trimmed in gold. He weighed officially 134 1/2 pounds. He enters the ring tonight for the 8th time as a professional, hailing from and representing Monterrey, Nuevo León, Mexico. Here is Dende Jorge Padron. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, also wearing black and gold. He weighed in 134 1/4 pounds. Tonight, he makes his professional debut. Ladies and gentlemen, representing Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico, presentando Ping Pong, Alejandro Reyes.
Ya les di sus instrucciones. Obedezcan mis órdenes todos los tiempos. Cuando les diga, van a tocar guantes, van a regresar a su esquina y van a estarle peleando cuando suena la campana, ¿ok?
Reyes told us he knows what this venue has done in the past. He knows it's a war zone. Bradley Provodnikov, Mike Alvarado in his fight here, the trilogy fight. Alvarado and Brandon Ruiz. Reyes says, I'm looking for a knockout. I'm going to get it. Comes charging out of his corner. Reyes, the taller fighter, wearing the black shoes. Padron in the red shoes. Revisit your pro debut, Sergio. I alluded to it earlier that it doesn't always go as planned.
It wasn't too far from here. It was at the what's now the Honda Center, but it was called the Arrowhead Pond. It was a 4-round fight. I was a highly touted prospect, fresh out of the Olympic trials in 2000. and I fought a fighter that was 1 win, 3 losses, and I got dropped in the first round. I got cut, and I barely squeaked out a split decision win. It was a horrible pro debut for me.
You got it together pretty quick, though, didn't you?
Yeah, but I realized that the pro game is a lot different than the amateur game. You got to slow things down. In the amateurs, everything is fast. In the pro game, it's about technique. It's slowing things down. It really is. It's old bull mentality.
Another all-Mexican bout here on Mexican Independence Day weekend. Thanks for joining us here. Golden Boy on Dazn. Still to come in our main event. Jaime Munguia is back as he puts his world title on the line, the WBO Super Welterweight title, against Patrick Allotey. Brian Kenny, Chris Mannix, and Sergio Mora will be on the call for that one.
Reyes is staying very disciplined behind that long jab. He's a taller fighter, looking to land at the end of the shots. Nice body shot right there by Reyes.
Right on the ear. Padron didn't like that.
That was behind the head, but Padron can't complain because he dipped his head down there. All Reyes did was punch where his head was.
Suéltense, trabajen. Stop.
Reyes is the type of fighter that, he's a taller fighter, but he also likes mixing it up. He adjusts really well in there.
Stop.
Again, got caught on the ear that time. Padron took a knee.
Yeah, see, right there the referee said that he's ducking his head down there, and that's exactly what he's doing.
Déjense ir. Stop.
See, the referee can't control where you're going to put your head, and that's exactly what Padron is doing. Reyes has no choice but to punch down there.
A few minutes ago here at the Dignity Health Sports Park, the arrival of the WBO Super Welterweight champ. There he is, Jaime Munguia, 33-0 with 26 knockouts. Sergio, he's got a new trainer now. What do you expect different from him tonight?
One of my favorite all-time fighters, Eric El Terrible Morales, 4-division weight champion, one of the greatest boxing champions Mexico has ever had. And he was a boxer puncher, so I'm not expecting Munguia to all of a sudden be a boxer puncher. Morales knows what he has in his hands. He just knows that he has to, his offense is his defense. We know that Munguia doesn't move his head that much. He's not that swift with his feet. So he just needs to fight behind the jab, get aggressive with the jab, but offense being his defense.
You hear that a lot. Offense is your best defense, but Morales lived by that creed at some points. Round 2, the second round of Reyes' professional career, and he's going right after Padron here.
Reyes is going right after him like he wants to stop him this round. Long right hand, he came out with a strong jab.
Well, I would think any prospect, especially one with the pedigree that Reyes has, when you dream of your pro debut, you don't dream of winning a 4-round decision in a boring fight. You dream of knocking the guy out.
Yeah, but that's not normally the case, Todd. I'm telling you, it's hard to get a knockout in the 4th round. Not every fighter, even great fighters sometimes don't get knockouts in the 4th round. If memory serves me right, I want to say Sugar Ray Leonard didn't get a knockout in his pro debut. Neither did Muhammad Ali, and we're talking about greatness there. It's just very difficult to get knockouts in your first fight in a 4-rounder and a 6-rounder.
You can see on the upper back of Padron, he's got a cannabis leaf tattoo. Good thing we're in California. Oh, nice work there for Padron with a little combination. That'll wake Reyes up.
Absolutely, Reyes getting a little bit lazy in the inside right there.
Cuidado con los golpes de atrás. Ahí peleen, déjalo ir. Stop, déjalo ir.
You can see Reyes maybe getting a little frustrated right now. He wants Reyes to stand there, or Padron rather, to stay there and bang it out with him. What happened there? That was a quick body shot. I'm assuming it was to the liver. That's the way Padron is acting. He's not even trying to get up. And Reyes does indeed get a knockout in his pro debut.
He got the knockout. He got exactly what he wanted to do in a 4-round fight. I was just talking about how difficult it is. It's even more difficult to get it to the body.
And that was a lightning quick shot, Sergio. I didn't even see it.
Those are the worst shots to get hit with. When you're extending your own arm to land your own punch, you leave your liver, you leave all your organs ready to get punched in right there. That's a brutal liver shot right there. And shout out to Alejandro Reyes and Westside Boxing. He wanted me to throw that one in right there. He's very, very proud of that.
He does fight out of Westside Boxing Club in Los Angeles, California, fighting out of his hometown of Mexicali, Mexico. He got the knockout, Sergio, and he did it with a left hand, which was timed perfectly, as you'll see on some of these replays. Watch the left hand here of Reyes.
You got to watch Padron's right hand opening up the body right there, and it was just a wrong time to throw a right hook. That body shot right there paralyzes you, Todd, and you could see how he went down wincing in pain. The legs just said, forget about it. I don't want no more of that. Man, that brings back painful memories for me. I'm telling you, that's one of the hardest punches. You'll forever remember a body shot. You don't forget about those.
I'm sorry, Sergio. Go ahead, finish your thought.
I'm about to give you a body shot if you interrupt me again.
I'm being told to send it to Joe Martinez, who is way more important than you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the end comes officially 1 minute 55 seconds, round number 2. Referee Ivan Guillermo reaches a count of 10 for your winner by KO victory in su debut profesional desde Mexicali, Baja California, México, Ping Pong, Alejandro Reyes.
Alejandro Reyes, hearing it from the crowd right there. We know how much Mexican fans love body shots, and to get a knockout with a brutal left hook to the liver like that, beautiful, beautiful knockout on his pro debut. And there's that shot right there, beautiful left hook to the liver, just paralyzes your opponent. Mexicans love seeing that left hook to the liver. That's a specialty for all Mexican boxers, and the man Ping Pong Alejandro Reyes gets it here on his pro debut. Now we send it out to the ring to Grisham.
Thank you, Sergio. Congratulations, Alejandro. How would you rate your performance in your first pro fight?
It was a success. Thank you for everybody coming out, support. Muchas gracias a todos por haber venido a ayudarnos aquí. Me siento muy contento con el triunfo. Vamos empezando y ojalá que haya más. Muchas gracias a todos por el apoyo. ¡Y viva México!
Sergio Mora was talking about how hard it is to get a knockout in your pro debut because you want it so bad. How bad did you want that knockout?
I wanted it pretty bad. I started too aggressive, so I needed to listen to my corner and assess myself, and we got the win.
I'm sure you've dreamt about what this would feel like. How does it feel to be on Dazn on Mexican Independence Day weekend getting a knockout victory?
I feel great. I feel blessed because of all the support I've had. And my corner, my team. Thank you everybody at Golden Boy. Thank you all our friends that helped us out and to get here, and hope to be more. And a big shout out to Jefe, Westside Boxing.
Congratulations on the win one more time, ladies and gentlemen. And now we go backstage to Claudio Trejos, who spoke to both the men in our next contest.
We're here with Rafael Gramajo. Thank you for joining us. You got this last-minute call for this fight. How far in advance was it?
We had 2 days, but thank goodness we're always in the gym training. So It doesn't mean if it's 2 days, 1 day. I mean, if you're always training, you're ready.
But how do you prepare for somebody that you really don't know?
That's the thing. When we're in the gym, we're already working for different opponents, different styles. So we're leaving it in the hands of that.
You come from Kansas. You come from the same area where Victor Ortiz, Bam Bam Rios, especially Bam Bam Rios, he's had major fights in this same venue. Did he have any words for you?
No, I haven't. I don't really have communication with them. But yeah, we come from the same city. We come Garden City, Kansas. Shout out to you guys out there. Shout out to Westside Boxing too as well here in Los Angeles, California. But yeah, no communication with them over this fight.
So how do you expect to win over the fans in California?
Do what I do, man. Come here, fight, and fight however the fans love it. And that's action-packed fight.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
We're here with Daniel Olea, and you had a last-minute change in your opponent. How does this affect you?
Pues mira, no me afecta en nada. Nos preparamos para esto y más. Lo importante que yo quería hacer era pelear en esa función y no iba a desaprovechar esta oportunidad.
No, nothing changed at all. What I was preparing for was this and more, and I prepared for this, and I'm prepared to give a great fight. And I was going to give it's a great opportunity, and I'm not going to lose that opportunity.
Thank you, Gabby. You mentioned that one of your favorite fighters is Juan Manuel Marquez, and he's had major wars. This is an arena that has seen outstanding wars as well, yet you said that you're going to outbox your opponent. So how do you expect to win the fans over?
Pues como todo boxeador, vine aquí por esta oportunidad y no pienso desaprovecharla. Vamos a tratar de boxearle a un peleador que lo de él es fajarse. Vamos a tratar de boxear y dar todo en el ring como todo mexicano.
I have a great opportunity, and I'm not going to miss out on it. We're going to try to box a fighter who likes to brawl, so we're going to do the best I can to give a great show for the fans and for Mexico.
Thank you very much. Good luck.
Gracias.
Watch me live on Dazn.
We welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. The shade has begun to cover most of this arena here at Dignity Health Sports Park, which is a very good thing. Earlier tonight, a couple of hours ago, they had to dump cold water on the canvas to try and cool it down because it was bubbling up. 3 fights so far, 3 knockout wins, and now we turn our attention to the main card that comes your way at the top of the hour. Sergio, of course, all eyes on Jaime Munguia, but of the other bouts, which one are you most excited to see?
Well, I want to see how Jaime Munguia is going to bounce back from Dennis Hogan, but of course I want to see Romero Duno. He said he wanted to fight Ryan Garcia, but he's not going to be fighting him. He's fighting a tough, very crafty, scrappy fighter in Ivan Delgado.
And then our co-main event, the WBC and WBO Super Middleweight Championships will be on the line for these 2 female fighters.
No, and this is also a big opportunity for these ladies to be fighting on a big Mexican weekend. I mean, they're not Mexican, but it's still exciting to be fighting in front of this crowd.
Yeah, I asked you this question earlier about the hype and the pressure that Jaime Munguia must be feeling, because this weekend has belonged to Canelo Alvarez for the past several years. He's not fighting until November when he fights Sergey Kovalev. So now all the pressure of Golden Boy in the Mexican community has been thrust upon the shoulders of Jaime Munguia. How do you think he's going to handle it?
We're going to find out, but I'm curious to see how he's going to handle it, because it's a big weekend for Mexican champions, and he's one of the few Mexican champions. He might not be fighting at super welterweight too much longer. He wants to move up to middleweight. So this might be his last opportunity to be a defending Mexican champion on a Mexican weekend. So it's a big stage for him. He's excited. I'm excited. We're going to see how he performs.
And his opponent, Patrick Allotey, has got to feel a little bit of confidence, because he saw in the last fight Dennis Hogan did very well against Munguia. Many felt he beat him. And Allotey has a little bit of a similar style, does he not?
Oh, absolutely. They fight in the perimeter of the ring. They don't really like planting their feet that much. They fight at the end of the jab. They jab a lot, but they really don't like fighting in the inside. Munguia needs to trap you against the ropes. Fighters like Hogan and Allotey don't stay against the ropes too long. So yes, this could be potential problems for the Mexican champion.
Jaime Munguia will defend his title tonight. He says if he wins, he'll most likely move up a weight class. So this could be the final time you ever see Jaime Munguia at 154 pounds. He's in our main event, and it comes your way next. Jaime Munguia, Patrick Allotey on Dazn.
To be proclaimed a Mexican warrior means as much about spirit as it does about skill. Perhaps it can be best described as a combination of heart, easier for a